Morning, Hannah. How are you doing?
Well, thank you.
Yeah, I'm good, thank you. I'm great. Thanks so much for joining us for this 10 minutes with. I'm going to kick us off with the first question, which is tell us a bit about your role at Myers Co and the sort of work that you do.
I'm a member of the litigation team at Myers Co, so I deal with any kind of disputes basically, whether that be early on in the matter trying to give people advice to help them avoid becoming embroiled in a dispute, or whether it's a dispute that's already occurred and we're trying to help somebody deal with it in the most cost-effective and proportionate way. So that might involve going to court sometimes, obviously going through a trial and helping people and advising them on that course, or dealing with alternative dispute resolution methods such as mediation or without prejudice negotiations and meetings, things like that. So we deal with a broad range of disputes for individuals and for companies. So the type of thing we may do for a company, for example, would be breach of contract claims, where they've not been paid, the shareholder disputes, construction disputes, and then for individuals, quite a lot of boundary disputes, lease-related disputes, and also probate matters. If people have got issues when they're dealing with the passing away of a loved one, and sometimes disputes do unfortunately arise then as well. So every day is different, which is what I like about it, and obviously the opportunity to be able to help people as well, which is why I sort of chose this career really.
Yeah, no, it sounds like you do a bit of everything. I'm sure that keeps you on your toes.
It does. Yeah, I never adore.
Yeah. And tell us a bit about the team at Myers. Is there a lot of cross collaborations with other departments at all?
Yes, there is. So we are a smaller firm, but we do have complementary departments. So myself and the dispute team, I work quite closely with our commercial team who deal with services for business, so drafting terms and conditions and company documents, that kind of thing. And we also work with our employment team as well. So obviously sometimes business disputes involve employment elements. And also with our commercial property team, there's quite a lot of crossover, and in relation to like lease matters and acquiring land or helping companies with that, or individuals actually as well. And then also with individuals, we've got our residential conveyancing team, so that does throw up occasionally boundary issues and things that we can help with for sales and purchases. So yeah, we there is a lot of opportunity to work together when we're dealing with it for individuals. Obviously, that having the probate team as well, that really helps sort of complement our offering in terms of any probate matters as well. So we've got a good wealth of knowledge that we can call upon, so that's always really helpful. No questions, like stupid questions. That's one of the things I like about just being able to nip up the corridor and get some help if I need it.
Yeah, I think that's really beneficial on both sides. So obviously from the client's point of view, they get the benefit of other services that the firm offers as well, and you can cross-refer clients. But also from your perspective, dealing with that broad range of litigation, there's bound to be areas that are a bit more specialist, particularly on the property side of things. So it's really good that you've got other people that you can lean on that have got that additional specialism as well.
Yeah, definitely. Sometimes it's just bouncing something off someone else as well, even if it might not be necessarily their area of specialism, just to get their feel for what experience they've had of dealing with sort of a similar situation or a particular client, how they like to work. So it does help us build up a long-standing relationship with clients as well, because we get to know their businesses quite well, or with individuals, their circumstances, because other people in the firm will have acted for them as well. So that's always nice as well.
No, definitely. And you joined Myers in 2016, I believe, and you had over 10 years experience at several globally recognized law firms. So I want to know, what was it that attracted you to Myers Co, and what have been the key benefits for you?
Yeah, I'm lucky to have had some varied experiences. The thing I liked about Myers was when you're working at a large firm, obviously that does have its benefits, but sometimes you do feel like just sort of one person in a big machine, and you don't always, when you're working on a big case, get to be as hands-on in all elements. Whereas when I came here, first of all, I really like the atmosphere. It's very friendly. Everyone's very supportive. It's not competitive. Obviously, we are small actually. When I came here, the size of the team I was in is the sort of the size of the firm really, so it was quite a big change. But everyone knows each other very well. So on a personal level, obviously that's nice, because people know your family situation, and we all ask each other how the weekends were and that kind of thing. So that's obviously a nice environment to work in. But from a professional point of view as well, it just allows you to have a bit of a better work-life balance, I found. That's just been my experience really. And also in a large firm, because there's a lot of you and there's lots of different departments. If something comes across your desk and you think, oh, I don't think that's me, I'll send it to such and such. Whereas when I came here, I trained to be able to broaden my experience, and I feel like it gives you confidence in what you do, because legally a lot of things are founded in the same legal principles really, and then you develop your specialism from there. So it's certainly helped me grow in confidence and take on different things that I perhaps wouldn't have done when I've been at a larger law firm as well. So I feel like I can give more rounded advice now as well.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I definitely think in the larger firms, on the litigation side of things, people are more specialists and there are specific teams that deal with specific types of disputes. So you wouldn't get that broad experience that you're now getting at Myers.
Yeah, and also because we are smaller, you get a lot of client contact. You deal with people, instantly throughout the course of a matter, and you're always there for a call. Whereas when you're in a larger law firm, obviously you do get to do larger scale disputes, but sometimes negatives of that are you don't quite get as much client contact because you will be one of a team and you might be working on a particular aspect of it and maybe not always appreciate the whole. So I found that to have been a good way to learn as well. It's also nice to see things through, um, all the way through as well. That's good for your experience, and also for the client journey, I think, as well.
Yeah, no, it sounds like it's been really beneficial for you. Have there been any negatives at all?
I think one thing I did notice when I first joined was just because obviously of the size, I had got used to there being a lot of departments that do things for you like magically behind the scenes. So there were people who would always be working like amending documents for you, or like a photocopying team and things like that. So I wouldn't say that's a negative. It's just something you get used to. We have assistants, so there's always people to help. I'm always happy to do things myself anyway, but there are always people to help. But I did find that a little bit strange at first. That was a bit of a change. So I suppose from that perspective, and perhaps maybe the teams aren't quite as large, so you find your feet a little bit with who you feel like you can go and talk to. But then when you've got that relationship with everyone, it's fine. But at first you feel like, oh, maybe I don't want to interrupt people, but I suppose that's applicable in any firm, isn't it? We all work closely now, so it's a bit of a cliche, isn't it, to say it's like a family, but we sort of are like that, and we do quite a lot of social things here as well. So yeah, it's nice to be part of a smaller team, and I think there's career progression as well, which perhaps might be easier in a smaller firm than it may be in a larger firm, where understandably there's a lot more processes in place to progress.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And what advice would you give somebody else who was thinking of moving out of a larger firm into a firm that's, similar sort of size to Myers, in the hope of achieving a better work-life balance?
Yeah, it definitely is possible. What is completely different here is the hours. Obviously here, our offices close at 5, and the the phones and things, people don't expect to hear from you after working hours. Obviously, if you choose to work a little bit later or a bit earlier, that's your choice. People don't necessarily expect that. So that's a big difference I found from a large firm, where there is, in my experience at least, more of an expectation that you would be working later and different hours. So that's made a big difference to my life, certainly after I've had a family. Also, I would say what you've got to think about is really what's important to you. So what was important to me was career progression and the opportunity to be quite hands-on. So if you want to, have the experience of doing huge sort of disputes and things like that, from my experience, then that's something perhaps a larger firm could offer you. But here, like I say, you will get like a lot of hands-on experience, and you can see your career progression as well. So I think that's quite attractive. So I think you've got to think through what's important to you. But certainly for me, having a work-life balance that I've not had before has been like very refreshing. And also used to feel quite guilty all the time if I wasn't working. Maybe that's just me rather than a firm thing, but now I don't feel like that. I feel like this is my work time and this is my home time. If we do ever need to work extra, obviously that's the nature of what we do, isn't it? I'm always happy to, but it's a different expectation, is what I found. And it's not competitive here. It's not as figures driven. Obviously, we're all here to do a job. We have to bill, we have to run a business, we have to make a profit. But I don't feel like that's our reason for being here so much.
Yeah, I mean, we conducted some research last year, and actually, for the first time ever, work-life balance, and in particular, the ability to work from home, was the the most important thing for lawyers across the board. I wonder how that works at Myers, because obviously a lot of the bigger firms now are completely set up for people to work remotely as much as they would like to. Do you have the same sort of flexibility where you are at the minute?
Yeah, we do. We've just introduced a hybrid working policy actually. And we've always had some flexibility, but particularly with COVID, obviously, when we were all forced to do it, and we saw how actually effective it was. So we've now got systems that have adapted to allow us to work. Obviously, law firms can tend to be quite paper heavy, but certainly in our department we've gone paper light, which makes working remotely a lot easier. And we're getting new laptops at the moment, so we'll all be fully set up and have the opportunity to work from home if that's your preference. I think because we are a bit smaller, we possibly wouldn't be working from home necessarily every day, but that's a matter of personal preference. I think we do like to see each other around the office because that's sort of one of the appeals of it, really, sort of keeping in touch with everybody with us being a smaller firm, and also being able to call on people when you need them. But certainly, yeah, there is the opportunity to work from home, and that's something that we're able to cater for now with the systems that we've got in place, and sort of having gemmed all that up since the COVID experience. So trying to take positive from that.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I think it's nice to have that happy medium as well, where you have some days in the office and then other days where you don't have to commute and you can work from home. I think it's a good compromise.
Sorry, yeah, certainly when I was off, I missed the social side of being in the office as well, because obviously with these people all day, for a long time, and you learn about their lives and what's going on, and so I did miss that social aspect. So yeah, I think there's a balance to be found. Obviously, people do have commitments outside of work, things for their children or pets or whatever, if it's just the boiler man, that kind of thing. And we've always been flexible here about that kind of thing. So that's not a problem.
Yeah, fantastic. And speaking of life, then, what do you like to do in your spare time?
I am not very exciting, I'm afraid, but I like to try and exercise and keep fit and go walking and things. But at the moment, I sort of devote a lot of my time spending with my daughter before she's too cool to hang out with her mum. So I would say, yeah, now just doing social things with friends and other friends with children and things is sort of my priority at this stage of life. But yeah.
Yeah, no, that sounds lovely. And finally, then, what do the next 12 months have in store for you at Myers?
I think it's quite an exciting time for us now because we've become part of the MAPT group, which is a broader group who also have another law firm that they own, and they're looking to acquire other law firms. So we are enjoying some of the benefits of having a larger law firm as part of our group as well. So they've set up a training academy. So they are coming in and offering us training on various different topics depending on what people are interested in. So that's been really beneficial for us. I mean, we've always been doing training, but certainly some more of the soft, sort of more pastoral side of things. We're doing more of that now, so that's good. And I think we'll evolve a little bit more with the group, and as they take on new companies, then there'll be more opportunities for us to learn from how those companies operate and perhaps adapt with them. So that's exciting. We're going to be taking on more trainees because we've always had trainees within the firm, but I think now we want to grow and be able to increase our training intake. So I'm a training principal. That's something we're very keen on, going out locally to universities and things and trying to recruit locally. So that's quite exciting for us to be able to take on more people as well. And just we're always trying to monitor our quality and make sure that clients have a good service with us. So we've invested quite a lot in sort of quality control mechanisms, and we're Lexel accredited as well. So yeah, I think we'll just keep doing more of the same, and the plan is to hopefully grow and just always keep on top of our game to offering a good service. And when there's opportunities for us to integrate more with the MAPT organisation and benefit from their training opportunities or any other opportunities, then we'll go with that as well. So yeah, I think it's an exciting time.
It does sound really exciting, and especially from the trainees coming through as well. That'll be really encouraging because I know the last couple of years there's been far less training contracts on offer and things. So I think that's a brilliant initiative.
Yeah, definitely. I think being a trainee at a smaller firm as well, you get really good hands-on experience. You will actually get your own files that you can run, obviously with supervision. But I feel like that's a good opportunity for a trainee that we can give here, and you'll move around, but hopefully they'll feel supported as well and have the stability of a little bit of a small firm as well. So yeah, I'm looking forward to being able to sort of roll out our training program a bit wider in the future.
Brilliant. Well, thanks so much, Hannah, for taking the time out of your day to speak to us this morning, and catch up with you soon.
Thank you. Thanks very much for listening. Thank you.
Thanks. Bye.